This edition of MacVoices is sponsored by lynda.com, the unparalleled online video training library. For a free 10-day unlimited trial, visit lynda.com/MacVoices. Hi, I'm Chuck Joyner, and this is MacVoices at the Las Vegas SuperMeet and NAB. I'm here with Simon of Red Giant to talk a little bit about their plugins and what they're doing new this year. Simon, it's great to have you. Thanks for being here.
Oh, it's lovely to be interviewed by you, Chuck, even.
And listen, thank you so much for supporting the SuperMeet. It's a great event, and it's great to see you guys here.
I love the SuperMeet, and I'm a huge fan of Dan and Mike. So I've been coming to these for years. They've even got me up on the stage talking occasionally. So I love them, and so I think this whole community thing that we've got going together is great. It's fantastic for people to be able to have those sorts of conversations that you'd never have online with each other. So
that's the word that keeps coming up. Everyone I talk to is community.
Yeah, absolutely. All the pressure, all the kind of, we're being steered towards doing everything remotely, but you just can't beat having beers with people in Vegas. Doing community.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, one of those two.
Yeah, exactly.
So probably everyone knows a little bit about Red Giant. You do some amazing plugins for Final Cut and for other NLEs, but it's time to get a quick update on what's new and what's been updated and where you're going from here.
Well, absolutely. The key thing is that the plugins work in a variety of host software. So Premiere Pro, as well as Final Cut and After Effects and Sony Vegas Pro, and even in Resolve, actually. So and an Avid Media Composer, of course. But the idea is that whenever I'm doing Red Giant training, is that I explain that plugins extend the functionality of the host system and also help you do stuff faster. So it's the doing the stuff faster which is the key thing this year, because the updates to the new Magic Bullet suite means that the tools there now process on the GPU, and so that they all play back in real time. So if you've got a colorista, a treatment on a clip, say for example in Premiere Pro, or if you've got Magic Bullet Looks treatment, you hit playback and you can see immediately, without dropping frames, what it looks like. And so that's been the key, because when editors are doing stuff, they just need to be able to just play stuff back. And I've seen editors actually change their mind about the duration of the clip, because if you've got a color on there as well as the story bits being told by the video, then you realize that actually this is telling a certain amount of story, so do I need it to be shorter or longer? And so it's a more interactive process than actually doing that mythical beast, which is picture lock, which always happens on every project. The producer never changes their mind, do they? Oh no, hang on.
No, never.
So as well as the real-time playback, there's a number of additional tools, including this great new tool called Magic Bullet Film, which allows you to emulate the photographic process of a negative and print stock. And the Magic Bullet was designed by Stu Maschwitz, and so he's gone out and he's shot dozens and dozens of reels of different types of stock, analyzed those and put them into the plugin. So it means that you can put onto your clip very quickly a filmic look based on the actual photographic process of both the negative and the print. And then you can adjust things like grain and saturation. It's got a nice little vignette slider in there as well. And that's also GPU accelerated, so that plays back in real time too. So as well as quick processing, it's really nice to get that instant filmic look, which is based on real stock.
I've heard this a couple times from a couple different vendors, that they're tapping the power of the GPU to increase performance and ease the playback, make it better, so that you can see a little bit more about what it's really going to come out as.
Yeah, and that's the exact thing. But it doesn't have to be a brand new computer. And I've been showing people stuff on my 2-year-old MacBook Pro and on a 1080p timeline, and it's working absolutely fine. So, and that was a off-the-shelf GPU on there. It wasn't an over-expensive one, because you can't buy over-expensive ones for that. The computer's expensive enough anyway. So, and it's cross-platform, so if you do get a nicely spec'd out, say, HP or Dell machine with a graphics card with a bunch of video RAM on it, it works very nicely as well.
Are you showing any particular new plugins this year, or is it primarily a revision year where you're just improving performance?
Well, those ones aren't that old. It was only released something like 6 or 7 weeks ago.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize.
And there's a whole plugin library for Universe, which has got now more than 80 plugins. I think it's either 79 or 80, and 6 were released last week. So that's a constant update. But the big thing that we've been talking about this show is the volume licensing program, because then now that's got the software to be able to roll out over an enterprise or a broadcast customer software, so they don't have to worry about which particular instance or version of software is on which particular machine. Is that they can do this as a floating license. And so we've been spending most of our time doing that. And so the key word is floating. So it's on the back of here, volume program. It says floating. So 2 things I've been remembering for this year is floating and plays back in real time. So if you have to, that's the elevator pitch for you for this year's.
That's good. I think the last time we talked to Red Giant, we talked a little bit about Universe. Tell the folks what Universe is and why they should subscribe to it.
Well, Universe is a collection of plugins that let you do things that you'd normally do in After Effects, but do them on the timeline in Premiere Pro. So you can distress footage, you've got lens flares from Null Light Factory, and you can also add light leaks and simulate the colors that you would find in certain types of format, like VHS and Betamax. So you can then simulate those, and you can add in stylized treatments. Holomatrix, which used to be a script for After Effects, now is a GPU enhanced effect that you can throw on to a clip. But as well as that, they've simulated lots of those particular effects as transitions. So you can add a really nice fancy transition to a couple of clips without looking like, well, without spending too much effort, but it looks like you spend lots of time on it. And so it's all the sorts of things that are the attention-getting devices that you used to have to work on in a graphics program, but you can actually easily put them on in an NLE. So that's the key thing, to be able to experiment with these. And I've been going into key broadcasters and training them up and showing them these new things, and they love it because it just means that they can do more stuff more quickly.
And that's what it's all about, is do more faster.
Absolutely. So yeah, absolutely. So you got time to go to the pub, or do more work.
Oh, do more work. I always end up doing more work. I don't know what's wrong.
I know. That's that's the same for me too.
Is that what you're saying you do?
More work and then more work.
Simon, tell us where to go to learn more about Red Giant, sign up for Red Giant Universe and all that.
Well, that's easy, redgiant.com, and with all the products you can sign up for a free trial, so you can play with the software and see what you like. And if you end up buying it, then you don't have to uninstall anything. You just put in the code and it works with your particular settings that you made. So it's quite quick just to play around with, and when you suddenly realize that's the one I want, then it's easy.
It's perfect. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for supporting the SuperMeet and for talking to us.
Oh, thank you, Chuck. It's great to see you again.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Take care.
Folks, we'll have more from the SuperMeet and NAB in Las Vegas. I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices. Visit MacVoices.com for links, show notes, to subscribe, to connect with Chuck on Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and the MacVoices blog. Subscribe to our weekly newsletter, the MacVoices Dispatch, to stay up to date on all the latest MacVoices news from our front page or at macvoices.com/newsletter. Do more with your Apple tech by subscribing to the free MacVoices magazine on Flipboard by visiting macvoices.com/magazine. Advertising and sponsorships handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.